The morning sky over Seoul turned dark as massive ships blocked out the sun. Commander Taiman stood in the underground bunker watching the alien vessels descend through Earth's atmosphere like metal mountains falling from space. Each ship was bigger than the largest human city, and there were hundreds of them. The aliens called themselves the Dominion, and they ruled most of the galaxy. For 3,000 years they had conquered world after world. Their soldiers were twice as tall as humans, with armor that could stop any weapon and strength that could crush steel with bare hands. No planet had ever successfully fought them off. Taemin looked at the reports coming in from around the world. The same scene was happening everywhere. Alien ships landing in every major city while their commanders sent the same message to Earth: surrender now or be destroyed. The aliens expected humans to give up immediately, just like every other species had done. What the Dominion did not know was that Earth had been ready for this day for 20 years. Hidden deep underground were research facilities that had been working on something the galaxy had never seen. Dr. Hye-jin had spent her entire career developing ways to make humans stronger, faster, and smarter than any natural evolution could achieve. The process was dangerous and painful. Most people who tried it died, but those who survived became something amazing. They could run faster than cars, think quicker than computers, and fight better than any soldier who had ever lived. These special humans were called the Elite, and they had been training for exactly this moment. In secret bases around the world, 300 elite soldiers were putting on their armor and checking their weapons. These were not ordinary people anymore. They had volunteered to become something beyond human, to protect their planet from threats like this. Each one had reflexes 50 times faster than normal people, and strength that could bend metal bars. Lieutenant Woo Jin finished connecting his neural interface to his suit. The technology let him think at superhuman speeds and communicate with his team. Just by thinking, he could process battle information faster than the most advanced computers and coordinate attacks with perfect timing. His squad of 12 elite soldiers had trained together for 3 years preparing for alien invasion. The enhancement process had nearly killed Woo Jin, but now he could see things happening in slow motion when he focused. His body could heal from injuries that would kill normal people, and his mind could calculate the best strategy for any fight in seconds. Around him, his teammates were making their final preparations. Each elite soldier was worth 1,000 regular troops. Dr. Hye-jin entered the preparation room to give the elite their final briefing. She was 60 years old but looked 30 because of her own enhancements. She had been the first person to survive the elite process and had spent years perfecting. The aliens think we are weak, she said, but they have never faced humans who have pushed evolution beyond its natural limits. The elite soldiers listened as she explained what they were facing. The Dominion had genetic enhancements that made their soldiers incredibly strong and tough. But human technology had gone further than genetic changes. The elite had been rebuilt at the cellular level with improvements that seemed impossible. Their bones were stronger than steel, their muscles could generate incredible force, and their brains could process information at superhuman speeds. Sergeant Ji-woo checked her rifle one last time. The weapon looked simple, but it fired projectiles at hypersonic speeds that could punch through any armor. Her enhanced eyes could see targets from kilometers away, and her steady hands never missed a shot. She had been lying motionless for hours during training exercises while maintaining perfect alertness, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. The communication system crackled to life with a message from Earth. Command Operation Steel Tiger is authorized. Release the elite. The words that every enhanced soldier had been waiting to hear. The time for hiding was over. Earth was about to show the galaxy what humans could really do when they refused to surrender. Private Dong-hoon felt his enhanced metabolism kick into high gear as adrenaline flooded his system. His heart rate stayed perfectly steady, even as his body prepared for combat. His vibro blade hummed with energy that could cut through alien armor like paper. He had trained for thousands of hours learning to move so fast that enemies could not track him. The alien commander on the surface was General Krix, a massive warrior from the Zentari race. He stood 3 meters tall with natural armor plating and had conquered 47 worlds. His soldiers were the elite of the Dominion military, genetically perfect for warfare, and equipped with weapons that could level city. Crix looked at the human city below and smiled. These primitives would surrender within hours. Their weapons were ancient projectiles that could not penetrate Dominion armor, and their military seemed to be running away in panic. What he did not realize was that the chaos was planned. Earth's regular forces were pulling back to let the elite do their work in facilities across Earth. The elite teams received their target assignments. Each team of 12 soldiers would face thousands of alien troops, but they were not worried. They had capabilities that no alien race had ever developed or imagined. The process that created them had pushed human evolution centuries into the future in just a few years. The neural networks connecting all elite soldiers came online, allowing them to share information instantly across the entire planet. Every elite could see what every other elite saw and coordinate their actions with perfect precision. It was like having one super-intelligent mind controlling 300 unstoppable bodies. Taemin watched the readouts showing elite teams moving into position around the world. Each soldier was invisible to alien sensors because their armor bent light around them. They could phase through solid walls for short periods, and their enhanced reflexes let them dodge energy blasts that moved at the speed of light. The moment had arrived. Earth's most dangerous protectors were about to face the galaxy's strongest military force. The aliens, expected to fight primitive humans with simple weapons. Instead, they were about to encounter the most advanced warriors the universe had ever produced. Beings who had taken human potential and pushed it beyond what anyone thought possible. General. Crix would learn in the next few minutes that humans did not surrender when faced with superior enemies. Instead, they became something more dangerous than their enemies had ever imagined. The galaxy was about to discover why Earth was the most dangerous planet in the universe. General Crix stood on top of his command vehicle, watching his soldiers march through the human city. His troops moved in perfect formation, their massive forms casting long shadows across the empty streets. The Zentari general had conquered more worlds than he could count, and this looked like it would be the easiest victory yet. The Dominion ground forces established their control zones exactly as they had done on hundreds of other planets. His soldiers were 3 meters tall, with natural armor that could stop plasma blasts and weapons that could melt through steel. Their genetic enhancements made them perfect killing machines, and they had never met their match in battle. These humans appear to have fled in terror, Crix told his officers as he surveyed the seemingly abandoned city. Their primitive weapons cannot harm our soldiers, and their military has scattered like frightened animals. We will have complete control within the hour. What General Crix could not see was that every movement his forces made was being watched. Sergeant Jiwoo lay perfectly still on a rooftop 2 kilometers away from the alien command post. She had been in the same position for 6 hours without moving, even to breathe. Her enhanced metabolism let her slow her heart rate to almost nothing while staying completely alert. Through her rifle scope, Jiwoo could see individual scratches on the alien commander's armor. Her enhanced vision was so sharp she could read the alien writing on his equipment. From 2 kilometers away, the targeting computer in her weapon had analyzed the weak points in Dominion armor and found the exact spots where their protection was thinnest. The neural link connecting all elite soldiers buzzed with quiet activity. Each team was reporting their positions and ready status. Private Dong-hoon was hidden inside the alien perimeter, moving through shadows so quickly that their sensors could not detect him. His enhanced speed made him nearly invisible as he positioned himself behind enemy lines. Lieutenant Wu Jin crouched in an abandoned building with his team of 12 elite soldiers. Each one was enhanced beyond normal human limits with reflexes that could react to threats faster than the aliens could move. Their coordination through the neural network meant they could fight as one perfect unit, instead of separate individuals. The aliens had brought their finest troops to Earth expecting an easy conquest. The Dominion soldiers wore powered armor that amplified their already incredible strength and carried energy weapons that had never failed to destroy enemy forces. Their confidence came from 3,000 years of never losing a battle. So Young watched from the command center as biometric readings showed the elite soldiers were ready for combat. Their enhanced bodies were operating at peak efficiency, with hormone levels optimized for battle and neural activity increased to superhuman levels. The years of preparation were about to B-tested General Crix received reports from his battalion commanders that the city was secured. No human military forces had been detected, and civilian populations had evacuated. He decided to make an example by destroying some buildings to show the humans what happened to planets that resisted the Dominion. That was when Earth Command sent the signal that changed galactic history. All teams execute. The words appeared in the minds of every elite soldier, simultaneously transmitted through their neural links faster than any radio communication could travel. What happened next took 30 seconds but would be studied by military analysts across the galaxy for centuries. Ji-Woo fired her first shot from 2 kilometers away. The hypersonic projectile traveled faster than sound and struck General Crix in the exact weak point between his helmet and chest armor. The alien commander's head exploded in a spray of blue blood before his bodyguards even realized they were under attack. The projectile had been designed specifically to penetrate Dominion armor, using principles of physics that the aliens had never encountered. At the exact same moment, Dong-Hoon emerged from the shadows, moving so fast, he appeared as nothing more than a blur to the alien soldiers. His vibroblade vibrated at frequencies that could cut through any material, and he moved through their ranks like death itself, cutting down enemies faster than they could react, across the city. 11 other elite soldiers struck simultaneously. Each attack was perfectly coordinated through their shared neural network, creating a devastating assault that hit the aliens from every direction at once. The Dominion troops had no time to respond or adapt to threats moving faster than their enhanced reflexes could follow. Wu Jin and his team moved through the alien heavy weapons position like ghosts. Their enhanced speed let them dodge energy blasts that should have been impossible to avoid, while their return fire struck with perfect accuracy. Every shot found the weak points in alien armor that human scientists had identified through careful study. The alien soldiers' panic was visible even through their armor. They had never encountered enemies who moved this fast or struck with such precision. Their weapons, which had conquered every world they visited, were useless against opponents who could predict where they would aim and dodge before they fired. Corporal Jae-hyun demonstrated the true extent of elite enhancement as he faced down an entire company of Dominion soldiers. His body moved with inhuman grace, dodging plasma blasts while returning fire with mechanical precision. His enhanced reflexes made the battle look like slow motion as he systematically eliminated every enemy. The vibro weapons carried by elite soldiers cut through alien armor as if it were paper. The technology used sound waves at specific frequencies that could disrupt the molecular bonds holding any material together against armor that had never been penetrated. The weapons were devastatingly effective. Within 15 minutes, the entire Dominion battalion was either dead or fleeing back to their ships. The aliens who had conquered 1,000 worlds found themselves completely outmatched by human soldiers who fought like nothing they had ever faced. The surviving aliens transmitted desperate reports to their fleet commanders, describing humans who moved faster than physics should allow, and weapons that could penetrate any defense. The easy conquest of Earth had become a nightmare scenario that challenged everything the Dominion believed about warfare. General Crix lay dead, with a hole through his supposedly impenetrable armor, killed by a shot fired from a distance that should have been impossible. His elite bodyguards had been eliminated before they could even draw their weapons by human soldiers who moved like supernatural beings. The retreat to the landing ships was chaotic as Dominion forces abandoned their equipment and fled from an enemy they could not understand or fight. The humans had demonstrated capabilities that seemed to violate the laws of physics and military science. Lieutenant Wu Jin stood among the alien bodies and checked in with his team through the neural link. All elite soldiers reported successful mission completion with 0 casualties. The first test of human enhancement technology against galactic military power had been a complete victory. Message sent throughout the galaxy was clear: Earth would not surrender to any force, no matter how powerful. The humans had revealed capabilities that made them more dangerous than any species the Dominion had ever encountered, and the easy conquest had become an impossible nightmare. News of the Dominion's defeat spread through the galaxy faster than light travel itself. Captain Jin-Soo of Earth's deep space monitoring station intercepted thousands of communications between alien governments as word reached every corner of civilized space. For the first time in 3,000 years, the supposedly invincible Dominion military had been crushed by a primitive single-world species. The defeat was so complete and so shocking that many alien leaders refused to believe the initial reports. How could enhanced humans from a backwater planet destroy soldiers who had conquered the entire galaxy? The Dominion survivors told stories that seemed impossible, describing human warriors who moved faster than thought and struck with weapons that could penetrate any armor on the water world of Aquatica. The ruling council of the Oceanic Federation called an emergency session. Their military advisors had studied the battle recordings transmitted by fleeing Dominion ships. The footage showed human soldiers moving with supernatural speed and precision, eliminating alien forces that outnumbered them, thousands to one. The hegemony, which controlled the most advanced civilizations in the galaxy, convened their grand assembly. For only the third time in recorded history, representatives from 12 species that had mastered technologies beyond human understanding debated what to do about Earth. Some argued for immediate nuclear bombardment to destroy the human threat before it could spread. Others wanted to study human enhancement techniques to understand how such rapid evolution was possible. Admiral Corvan of the Hegemony Fleet had never been defeated in 40 years of military service. He commanded technologies that could reshape matter at the atomic level and had access to weapons that could crack planets in half. The human defeat of the Dominion fascinated and worried him because it suggested that raw technological superiority was not enough to guarantee victory. Meanwhile, on Earth, the elite program expanded rapidly. Dr. So Young, who had taken over the enhancement research after Dr. Hyejin's retirement, worked around the clock, making new breakthroughs. The latest generation of elite soldiers possessed capabilities that seemed to bend the laws of physics. The new enhancements allowed elite soldiers to phase through solid matter for brief periods by temporarily shifting their molecular structure. They could manipulate electromagnetic fields to become invisible to most sensors, and their brains could process tactical information at speeds that let them predict enemy actions before they were made. Colonel Minho led the expanded elite division, which now numbered 500 enhanced humans. Each soldier represented years of research and development that had pushed human evolution centuries into the future. Their training took place in secret facilities beneath Earth's oceans and inside hollowed-out asteroids where they prepared for larger conflicts. The enhancement process had become more refined but remained dangerous. Only one person in 500 survived the full transformation, but those who did became living weapons that could challenge entire armies. Their bodies were rebuilt at the cellular level with improvements that made them faster, stronger, and smarter than any natural evolution could produce. Captain Nay Young commanded the first space-capable elite unit aboard a prototype warship that incorporated technologies reverse-engineered from captured alien equipment. The ship looked small and primitive compared to galactic standard vessels, but its hull incorporated materials and design principles that made it nearly indestructible. The galactic intelligence networks buzzed with activity as every major civilization tried to understand what had happened on Earth. Spy ships were dispatched to observe the human solar system from a safe distance, but many never returned. The few that did brought back disturbing reports of defensive installations that seemed to appear from nowhere. Earth had not been idle during the years before first contact. Human engineers had hollowed out asteroids throughout the solar system, turning them into weapons platforms that looked like natural space rocks. Their surfaces were covered with genuine asteroid material, but inside were weapon systems that could destroy ships much larger than themselves. The crystalline empire, whose technology was based on living crystal, matrices sent their greatest scientists to study the human phenomenon. Their analysis concluded that humans had somehow compressed millions of years of evolutionary development into decades through artificial enhancement. The process should have been impossible according to all known biological laws. Deep space monitoring stations across the galaxy detected unusual energy signatures coming from the direction of Earth. Human scientists appeared to be experimenting with technologies that manipulated fundamental forces of the universe. Gravity weapons that could create miniature black holes were being tested along with temporal manipulation devices. The fear was spreading through galactic civilization that humans might not be content. to remain on their single world. If they could enhance themselves to defeat the Dominion's finest troops, what would happen when they developed space travel technology and began expanding beyond their solar system? President Yu Jin of Earth's world. Government received diplomatic communications from dozens of alien species. Some offered trade agreements and technology exchanges, while others delivered thinly veiled threats demanding that human enhancement research be stopped immediately. The Sam galaxy was clearly divided on how to handle the human situation. Dr. Hyejin, now 70 years old but still enhanced beyond normal human aging, came out of retirement to work on the most ambitious project yet. A new class of elite soldiers called Apex units who would possess capabilities that approach the supernatural. Their enhancements would let them manipulate matter and energy directly through thought alone. The training regimens for elite soldiers had evolved beyond physical conditioning to include mental disciplines that expanded consciousness itself. Meditation techniques borrowed from ancient human traditions were combined with technological enhancements to create warriors whose awareness could span entire battlefields. Lieutenant Wu Jin, now promoted to major, led a team developing new combat tactics specifically designed to fight against superior numbers and technology. The elite had proven they could defeat conventional forces, but the galaxy contained species with abilities that seemed like magic to human understanding. The Quantum Research Division, working under Dr. So Young, had made breakthroughs in understanding the fundamental nature of reality itself. Their discoveries suggested that consciousness could directly influence physical matter at the quantum level, which explained how elite soldiers could perform seemingly impossible feats. When long-range sensors detected a massive fleet approaching from the galactic core, everyone on Earth knew the real test was about to begin. The hegemony had assembled the largest military force in galactic history, bringing together the most advanced warships and deadliest soldiers from every member species. The approaching fleet contained over 10,000 vessels, ranging from massive dreadnoughts to specialized assault craft. Each ship carried weapons that could level continents and soldiers enhanced through technologies that had been perfected over millions of years. The combined force represented everything the galaxy could bring against a single world. Earth Command activated every elite unit simultaneously as the alien fleet entered the outer solar system. The enhanced humans who had defeated the Dominion would now face opponents whose capabilities approached godlike power. But Earth had not been preparing for easy battles. The message transmitted throughout the galaxy was simple. Earth would not surrender, no matter what force was brought against them. The planet that had produced warriors capable of defeating impossible odds was ready to prove that human determination, combined with unlimited enhancement potential, could overcome any enemy. The hegemony fleet emerged from hyperspace at the edge of the solar system, like a metallic plague spreading across the stars. Admiral Korvan commanded over 10,000 warships from his flagship Devastator, a vessel the size of a small moon that carried enough firepower to destroy entire planets. His forces represented 12 different species, each bringing their most advanced military technology. The alien commander studied tactical displays showing the primitive human solar system with its single inhabited world. The intelligence reports were contradictory, describing humans who had somehow defeated Dominion forces through impossible enhancement technologies. Admiral Korvan had decided to see for himself what these enhanced humans could actually do. As the massive fleet moved past Jupiter, the aliens encountered their first surprise. What appeared to be ordinary asteroids floating in space suddenly activated, revealing weapon systems that had been hidden for years. Earth had spent decades converting space rocks into automated defense platforms that alien sensors could not distinguish from natural objects. The asteroid fortresses opened fire with weapons that should not have existed on such a primitive world. Gravity mines created miniature black holes that tore apart alien escort ships, while quantum torpedoes phased through energy shields as if they were not there. Energy beams that converted matter directly into destructive force carved through hulls made from materials stronger than diamond. Captain Jin Su commanded the asteroid fortress designated Alpha 7, watching through enhanced vision as alien ships exploded around him. His facility had been carved from a rock 3 kilometers across and equipped with power systems that drew energy from the vacuum of space itself. The weapons he controlled used physics that most galactic civilizations considered theoretical. The battle for the outer solar system raged for 3 days as automated defenses struck at the massive alien fleet from every direction. Weapons platforms disguised as comets activated to fire antimatter warheads, while mining stations revealed themselves to be particle beam arrays that could punch holes through dreadnought. Armor Admiral Corvan lost over 1,000 ships to the hidden defenses, but pressed forward with growing respect for human engineering capabilities. The automated weapons demonstrated technology that rivaled anything the hegemony had developed. But surely the humans could not have many more surprises. That assumption proved wrong when the alien fleet reached Mars orbit and found a single human ship waiting for them. The vessel was barely 100 meters long, making it smaller than most hegemony fighters. It looked primitive and fragile compared to the massive warships surrounding it, but something about its presence made the alien commander hesitate. Captain Na Young stood on the bridge of humanities. Hope, the first ship designed specifically for elite crews. Her vessel carried 50 of Earth's most enhanced soldiers led by Major Byung-ho, who had volunteered for what many considered a suicide mission. The ship itself incorporated technologies that pushed human engineering beyond theoretical limits. When Captain Na Young opened communications with the alien fleet, her message was broadcast on all frequencies. Surrender now and return to your worlds, or face the consequences of challenging Earth. The simple statement was met with laughter from thousands of alien crew members who could not believe such arrogance. Admiral Corvan decided to make an example of human pride by personally destroying the tiny ship with his flagship's main weapon, the Devastator's primary. Cannon could crack moons in half and had never failed to obliterate any target. The massive weapon began charging with energy that made nearby space itself glow. The charging sequence took 30 seconds as power flowed through crystalline focusing, arrays and quantum field generators. The energy buildup was visible across the solar system as the Devastator prepared to demonstrate why the hegemony had never been defeated. When the weapon finally fired, the beam was brighter than a star. The energy blast struck humanity's hope directly with enough force to vaporize a city. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen as the beam engulfed the small human ship. Then something impossible occurred. The beam reflected off the human vessel's hull and struck back at the Devastator with double its original power. The reflected energy punched through shields that had never been breached and tore into the Devastator's hull, creating massive explosions throughout the gigantic ship. Emergency alarms blared as critical systems failed and Admiral Corvan realized his supposedly invincible flagship was crippling. Before his eyes, Major Byung-ho smiled as he watched the readings from his ship's revolutionary armor system. The technology used principles that galactic science insisted were impossible. The armor could absorb any energy attack no matter how powerful and reflect it back at the attacker with amplified force. The secret lay in quantum field manipulation that allowed the ship's hull to exist in multiple dimensional states simultaneously. Energy weapons that struck the armor were redirected through folded space and returned to their source with additional power drawn from the vacuum itself, as the Devastator burned and listed helplessly. In space, the rest of the hegemony fleet opened fire on the single human ship. Thousands of energy beams struck humanity's hope, simultaneously creating a light show visible throughout the solar system, but every beam was absorbed and reflected back, creating a cascade of destruction. Energy weapons meant to destroy planets became tools of self-destruction, as the human ship reflected every attack back at its source with increased power. Alien vessels that had never been damaged found their own weapons tearing them apart. Ships that had conquered hundreds of worlds were destroyed by their own firepower. Within 6 hours, Major Byung-ho and his 50 elite soldiers had destroyed over 3,000 alien warships without taking a single point of damage. The revolutionary armor system made them invulnerable to any energy attack while turning enemy firepower against itself. Admiral Corvan ordered a retreat to beyond Mars orbit, as his fleet counted losses that should have been impossible. A single primitive human ship had devastated the most powerful military force in galactic history, using technology that made their own weapons obsolete. The surviving alien crews spoke in terrified whispers about humans who could turn the galaxy's own technology against them. The laws of physics seemed to bend around human engineering, creating capabilities that challenged everything they thought they knew about warfare. Captain Na Young transmitted a final message to the retreating fleet. This is just one ship with 50 humans. If you continue this attack, you will face 300 elite soldiers on Earth itself, who have capabilities that make us look primitive. The warning carried across every communication channel: the retreat. Beyond Mars orbit gave Admiral Corvan time to reassess the situation. His intelligence reports had been completely wrong about human capabilities. These were not primitive beings with crude enhancements. They were a species that had somehow leapfrogged millions of years of technological development. Dr. So Young monitored the battle from Earth Command, watching as biometric data showed the elite soldiers aboard Humanity's Hope were operating at only 60% of their full capabilities. The ship and its crew had capabilities in reserve that the aliens had not yet seen. The quantum armor technology was just one breakthrough among dozens that human scientists had achieved through enhancement research. The ship could phase through solid matter, become invisible to all sensors, and manipulate gravity fields to move faster than light itself. The message was clear to every civilization watching. The battle. Earth possessed military technology that made conventional warfare obsolete. Humans had not just enhanced their soldiers, they had revolutionized the fundamental principles of combat itself, turning enemy advantages into weaknesses as the alien fleet regrouped beyond Mars orbit. Admiral Corvan faced a choice he had never encountered before. His forces still outnumbered the humans by millions to one, but their technological superiority had been proven worthless. The next phase of the battle would test whether numbers could overcome impossible human capabilities. Admiral Corvan stood in the command center of his crippled flagship, staring at damage reports that seemed impossible. His fleet had lost 4,000 ships to human defenses that turned their own weapons against them. The primitive single world species had demonstrated technology that made the hegemony look backward. But the alien commander still had 6,000 warships and millions of elite soldiers. If human space technology made orbital combat impossible, then he would land ground forces on Earth itself and prove that numbers and genetic superiority could overcome any enhancement. The greatest warriors from 12 species would show these humans what real military power looked like in personal combat. The surviving ships of the hegemony fleet descended into Earth's atmosphere, like a swarm of metal insects disgorging landing craft that carried millions of genetically enhanced soldiers. Each warrior represented the pinnacle of their species, evolution enhanced with technology and modifications that made them living weapons of unimaginable power. General Su Jin stood in Earth Command's primary observation center, watching alien dropships land on every continent. Her enhanced vision could track the movement of individual enemy soldiers across the entire planet, while her consciousness processed tactical information from millions of sources simultaneously. At 65 years old, General Su Jin had been among the first volunteers for the elite enhancement program. Decades of continuous upgrades had made her capabilities legendary, even among enhanced humans. Her tactical awareness now covered the entire globe, allowing her to coordinate every elite soldier on Earth as if they were extensions of her own body. The aliens brought their finest troops, expecting to crush human resistance through overwhelming force. Each soldier stood 3 meters tall with armor that amplified their already incredible strength. They carried weapons that could melt through steel and had reflexes enhanced far beyond normal biological limits. What they found waiting for them were 300 elite soldiers spread across Earth in small teams that could coordinate perfectly through quantum neural networks. The enhanced humans had capabilities that seemed to violate basic physics, making them more dangerous than entire armies of conventional troops. All teams, the galaxy has come to teach us our place. General Su Jin transmitted across the neural network that linked every elite soldier, show them why we are called the apex species. The words reached every enhanced human simultaneously, faster than any radio signal could travel. Corporal Jae-hyun moved through alien ranks like a force of nature itself. His enhancements had progressed beyond simple physical improvements to something that approached supernatural ability. He could phase through solid matter by shifting his molecular structure, move faster than most species could perceive, and predict enemy actions with perfect accuracy. The aliens had never encountered anything like human elite forces. A battalion of genetically enhanced Zentari warriors fell before Jae-hyun. In minutes, their advanced weapons unable to target something that seemed to exist partially outside normal space. His vibroblade cut through their armor as if it were paper, while he moved too fast for their enhanced reflexes to follow. Sergeant Yunju demonstrated why human engineering had surpassed anything the galaxy had ever produced. Her armor could adapt to any threat in real time, becoming harder than diamond against kinetic attacks, or completely transparent to energy weapons. The adaptive technology analyzed incoming damage and reconfigured itself faster than the attacks could connect. When a company of hegemony shock troops surrounded her position, Sergeant Yunju single-handedly held them off for 6 hours, while civilian populations evacuated. Her weapon systems could analyze any enemy defense and instantly configure themselves to penetrate it. Her ammunition was manufactured in real time using matter conversion technology. Major Byung-ho led his team of 50 elite soldiers against an entire division of alien heavy assault troops, the enhanced humans moved through enemy formations like ghosts, appearing and disappearing at will, while their weapons struck with impossible precision. Every shot found weak points in alien armor that should have been impenetrable. The aliens discovered that their genetic enhancements were obsolete compared to humans who had pushed evolution beyond its natural limits. Elite soldiers could regenerate from injuries that would kill any other species. Their bones were stronger than steel, and their muscles could generate forces that bent metal. Lieutenant Wu Jin coordinated 12 elite soldiers against thousands of alien troops through the quantum neural network that linked their minds. Their enhanced consciousness allowed them to fight as a single organism with perfect timing and coordination. Each soldier knew exactly what the others would do before they did it. The battle raged across every continent as small teams of elite soldiers systematically dismantled invasion forces that outnumbered them millions to one. The aliens' advanced weapons proved useless against opponents who could predict where they would fire and dodge energy beams traveling at light speed. Captain Na Young had brought her ship into Earth's atmosphere to provide support for ground forces, but discovered the elite soldiers needed no help. Humanity's hope hovered above major battle zones, while her crew watched enhanced humans casually destroy military units that had conquered hundreds of worlds. Quantum enhancement technology had given elite soldiers abilities that seemed magical to outside observers. They could manipulate electromagnetic fields to become invisible, bend gravity to leap impossible distances, and process information fast enough to see the future positions of moving objects. Corporal Minsu faced down an entire regiment of crystalline Empire soldiers whose bodies were living weapons made from programmable crystal matrices. His enhanced reflexes made their attacks appear to happen in slow motion, while his return fire struck with mechanical precision that never missed. The aliens' panic spread through their ranks as reports came in of human soldiers who could not be killed or even slowed down. Energy weapons that could level mountains had no effect on elite armor, while human weapons cut through alien defenses as if they did not exist. Private Dong-hoon moved through a battalion of aquatic Federation troops like death incarnate. His speed made him invisible to their sensors, while his vibro weapons disrupted the molecular structure of their equipment. The aliens' advanced technology became useless when faced with human engineering that operated on quantum principles. The transformation of warfare was complete. Human elite soldiers had made conventional military thinking obsolete. Their capabilities extended beyond physical enhancement to manipulation of fundamental forces that governed reality itself. They fought using principles that most galactic civilizations considered impossible. Dr. So Young monitored the battle from underground command centers, watching as biometric readings showed elite soldiers operating at their full potential. For the first time, the years of research and development had created warriors who could challenge the combined might of galactic civilization. Within 72 hours, the entire hegemony invasion force had been eliminated. The few surviving aliens broadcast desperate surrender messages throughout the galaxy, describing human soldiers who moved like supernatural beings and possessed capabilities that defied all known science. The footage of elite soldiers casually dismantling the galaxy's most advanced military units was transmitted across every communication network. Civilizations that had ruled the stars for millennia watched in awe and terror as humans demonstrated that evolution itself could be conquered and redirected. General Su Jin stood victorious on a battlefield littered with the remains of advanced alien technology that had been rendered obsolete by human ingenuity. The elite had proven that when pushed to their absolute limits, humans did not break. Instead, they became something that transcended the natural order itself. The Battle of Earth lasted exactly 72 hours, and when it ended, the most powerful military force in galactic history had been completely destroyed by 300 enhanced humans. The few alien survivors broadcast surrender messages that reached every corner of civilized space, describing human warriors who fought like gods. Made Flesh President Yu Jin stood before the assembled representatives of 60 different species in the Great Hall that had been hastily constructed in Geneva. All of them had traveled to Earth seeking peace negotiations after witnessing footage of elite soldiers dismantling armies that had conquered hundreds of worlds. The species that had ruled the galaxy for millennia now looked upon humans with a mixture of fear, reverence, and desperate hope for survival. The transformation of galactic politics happened faster than anyone had thought possible. Civilizations that had never known anything but hegemony dominance suddenly found themselves in a universe where military might no longer guaranteed supremacy. The old order based on technological superiority and genetic enhancement had crumbled before human innovation. Ambassador Minseo led the diplomatic teams that negotiated new treaties with former enemy species. Her own enhancements allowed her to process multiple alien languages simultaneously, while reading micro-expressions that revealed true intentions behind diplomatic words. The negotiations reshaped interstellar politics in ways that seemed impossible. Just months before, trade agreements replaced tributary relationships as human technology became the most sought-after commodity in the galaxy. Every species wanted access to enhancement procedures that could push their evolution beyond natural limits, but Earth carefully controlled the distribution of knowledge that could create more warriors like the elite. The quantum armor technology demonstrated during the space battle revolutionized defensive systems across the galaxy. Human engineers shared basic principles with allied species while keeping the most advanced applications secret. Earth had learned that information was power, and power required careful management. Commander Taemin, now promoted to head of Earth's Galactic Defense Force, established elite training centers on dozens of worlds that had proven themselves trustworthy.